The book is The Umpire is Out, Calling the Game and Living My True Self. Dale Scott coming out as gay in 2014 while still umpiring, the first in a major sports league to do so. It was written by Scott with noted baseball writer Rob Nyer as well. And Dale Scott joins us now. Dale, it's Brian Kenny. Good to talk to you again. Great to have you on the show.
Well, it's great to be here, Brian. Thanks for the invite.
See, now people don't. You were in radio before you got into umpiring. It's not, you have your own radio station there. You sound great.
Well, I've been doing so many podcasts and stuff that I thought I better invest a little bit to make it sound a little bit better. So we're in my office here in Portland with all my memorabilia and everything, and this really nice microphone.
There you go. No, sounds good. The voice is there as well. A lot of the book. I love the early stuff. The 80s in the minor leagues. It was a different era. It was rough. You're going back in your memory to write the book. What were those years like? What do you remember best?
It was great because I had saved all my minor league ejection reports, which really helped a lot. It was funny, Brian, is writing this book, talking about the minor leagues or, the World Series or anything. When I was writing that chapter, it brought me back to that time. I was, researching it. I was thinking about it. I was reliving it, basically. And the minor leagues were, you're young. It was a lot of fun. I think about it now, and I wonder how the heck I even, went through it, but basically, now that I'm older. But the 80s was an interesting time, like you said, a lot different, and not only baseball, but just everything. So it was very interesting to go back and rethink and redo all that.
I even remember, like, you wrote there about George Brett, right? Your first major league game, and I'm expecting, oh boy, they're going to really just crush this guy. What was that like? That didn't happen at all. It was actually kind of friendly. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was funny. I was up for just one game. It was a makeup game from a rain out earlier. I was told, you're just working third base, just take your base stuff. I'm in Kansas City. The stadium's gorgeous. We did the lineups. I run out, and I'm just kind of looking around, taking it all in. And I hear George, who's playing third. Hey, Dale, and I'm thinking, oh, he knows my name. Of course, they have it posted, but I thought it was pretty cool. And I said, oh, hey, George. He goes, your first game? And I literally looked down at my pants like I thought I had a wet spot or something. I said, why, is it that obvious? And he just starts laughing. He said, no, I just haven't seen you around. He said, welcome to the American League.
Yeah, that's it. That's amazing. I was like, no, it was a rough and tumble era. Actually, there was some nice moments in all that. Now, let's switch to where it does get rough. Later in your career, you're in the major leagues. What's it like to throw Billy Martin out of a game?
Well, a lot of people had that experience before me, but nobody afterwards. It was Memorial Day, 36 years ago, and wasn't even my call, actually. I was at first base, but it was a catch-no-catch situation with Bobby Meacham. Rick Reed had ruled no catch from first base. I just couldn't tell. But I'm just kind of minding my own business during the argument, and then he asked me, and he said I was full of whatever I was full of. So he really wanted to kick some dirt on me, and it was still damp from being watered down. And he tried a couple times, and he just nicked my knee. That's why I was pointing down, saying, "You kicked me, Billy. You just kicked me." Well, he couldn't get any dirt, so that was his goal. So he just scooped it up and threw it right on my beautiful American League sweater.
Nice. And that was last ejection. You were the first base ump for the Jeffrey Mayer game too in '96. Now Richie Garcia made that call, but what was your view?
Well, yeah, that was my first LCS, first game. What a series that was, because we had the Alomar situation going into that postseason. But from first base, with a six-man crew, you have the luxury of looking away a little bit. But I could tell the fan touched it, obviously, but I had no concept or no angle on where that fan was in relation to the wall. And Richie was very emphatic that it was a home run. Looking back on it now, I think if we had replay, and we certainly had some more cameras and angles, I don't think the ball would have gone out of the park. Now, I'm not sure if it would have been caught either. That's right. That could go either way. But that was a very interesting series also.
Well, again, what's historic about your career is that 29 years into your major league career, this is 2014, you came out, said you were gay, and you're the first to do so in the major sports leagues as an umpire or as an official. Why that time?
Well, the year before, Mike, who's my husband, we got married legally the year before, but we've been together since 1986, since after my first year in the big leagues. And by then, at that point, I was over it. I was over it. I'm hiding it. And, Billy Beane was doing his thing at the commissioner's office, which was a great hire. And I just I thought in this story that the Referee Magazine was doing, I thought, I'm going to include this picture of Mike and I and put that in there. And I know it was going to possibly open up a whole Pandora's box or whatever. But at that point, Brian, to be honest with you, I figured, first of all, I was an established umpire, obviously, so I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff being a young guy. But I just thought, if somebody has a real issue with me being gay, it's pretty much their issue. It's not really mine. I'm pretty happy with who I am and what I'm doing. And so I just decided to do that. And it was actually a very positive experience. Yeah.
What was the reaction? Again, first game going out on the field, not knowing, what was the reaction?
Well, yeah, I came out in December, so it was a few months before a game. But my very first spring training game of 2015, it was Cleveland and Cincinnati. And I was out working the bases. And about the third inning, Marlon Byrd's coming in. He's playing for the Reds. And, I've known Marlon a long time. He's been on several teams, been around. And he comes up and he gives me this huge bear hug. It was Dale, and I'm going, well, that's not normal. But he said, as he's giving me this bear hug, he said, Dale, I am so proud of you. You're free, brother. You're free. And I said, thanks, Marlon. It really it meant a lot. I had no idea what the reaction would be once the game started up again. I didn't have any idea how it'd be with the players or managers, fans, media, whatever. But I was pretty confident as far as the players and the people in uniform. They're going to be much more concerned about me getting pitches and plays right than what I do after a game. So, and that's pretty much how it panned out. But the reaction was all positive from just the few players and people that said anything that season.
Isn't it amazing, though, after all that time? Again, I take myself back. We're not far off in age. In the 1980s, there's no way it would have been so vastly different. I don't know what the reaction would have been, but it wouldn't have been good. Weren't you amazed by, wow, there's almost not a story here? It's accepted. What do you see on that?
That's the battle. I mean, it was a whirlwind for about a day and a half when the news broke in December. And then that was it. And I'd said in interviews then, I said, one of these days, this will not be a story. I mean, it just, but the 80s, are you kidding me? I mean, yeah. My first professional game in the Northwest League was 2 weeks after unknown mysterious cancers were affecting young men in San Francisco and New York, which of course was the start of the AIDS epidemic. And so I paralleled that, especially in the minor leagues. And so not only was I concerned that I didn't want baseball to know I was gay because that would, they would never promote me and I'd never make it to AA, let alone the big leagues. But with the HIV and AIDS, scare, because people were scared and didn't know how it transmitted and everything. I was concerned that there wouldn't even be anybody that would want to work with me. In the minor leagues, you're sharing hotel rooms and car trips, and you're working and you're in the locker room. So I was very concerned if any of that came out, and so I actively tried to make sure that it didn't.
Right. Well, again, it shows how far we've come, and that's good, at least. And there's a lot of good baseball stuff in here, too. Like just you're coming out, but also what it's like in the minors and going through. And the language is salty. It was salty language back in the day, kids. So that's in there as well.
Yes, it's Dale, what, a PG-17? I don't know. That's something.
Dale, great having you on the show. We'll do it again, and good luck with the book, with everything that you're doing.
I hope so. Thank you very much.